So today I will be teaching you about ABC analysis. This is the topic, and before that there are few terms remain in this inventory chapter, and that one is first one is safety stock. It is also known as buffer stock, and it is denoted by symbol SS, that is the abbreviation form of your safety stock. Safety stock or buffer stock, it is nothing but the minimum extra inventory that should be maintained as a safety margin. You can see in this figure that I have already drawn this area SS, which denotes the SS, that is the safety stock. This is the extra or the minimum additional inventory that a plant always used to maintain it, so as to meet the unexpected increase in unusual high demand. So this is the safety stock, and you can see it is the usual EOQ model, and you can see there I have taken the points: reorder point, that is reorder point, or reorder level, and this graph is plotted exactly like your x-axis is your time and y-axis is the units. So this is this if I write down the definition, the safety stock is minimum extra inventory maintained to serve as a safety margin to meet unexpected increase in demand so this is the safety stock. It's not that all the plants or the production lines used to maintain the safety stock. Some used to maintain it, others may not follow, seeing their budget or financial situation. And the next important term is our reorder point. That reorder point, you can see reorder point, you can see that is the that I've already taught you in inventory system. There is a point that it should be that the order should be placed. So you can see from the points that it is the point at which the inventory needs to be replenished so as to continue the business, continue the process. And you can see all the dots, you can see these are the reorder points, and the safety stock is maintained to meet the unexpected rise in demand. By studying this figure, every point is very clear. So now I'm writing down reorder level or point. These terms, safety stock, reorder point, these are very important terms in inventory control. as I've already said, it is a point at which inventory needs to be replenished in order to continue the business, and it is defined as, it is abbreviated as ROP, reorder level or reorder point. It is the summation of demand during lead time plus safety stock. So demand during lead time, it is nothing but, it is LT stands for our lead time, capital D is the demand during lead time, DLT, it is equal to demand rate multiplied by lead time period. And now safety stock, this formula is K sigma, where K is standard normal statistic value for a given service level. Let me write down here, K is the standard normal statistic value for a given service level. Sigma standard deviation. So this is the formula for ROL. How safety stock is related to RL, you can see safety stock plus demand during lead time. We can see from the figure. This is the demand during lead time. It is equal to reorder level. Now we'll work out one problem. I'm writing down the problem. That is, a firm has a demand distribution during a constant lead time with a standard deviation of the standard deviation of 250 units the firm wants to provide 98% service. First question, how much safety stock should be carried? Second bit is, if the demand during lead time averages 1200 units, what is the appropriate reorder level? Reorder level. And data given to you is that corresponding to 98% service level, K, that is from normal distribution table, its value is 2.05. So these things are given in the question. You know the demand Demand is given, service level, for service level 98%, K is given. First we have to compute the safety stock. Standard deviation is also given. This problem is a very simple one. Just you should know safety stock. It's K sigma. K value is given to, it is 2.05, and sigma standard deviation, how much standard deviation of 250 units given. So directly if we multiply it safety stock, that means it is equivalent to 512 units are kept as safety stock. That is the minimum inventory that a plant is keeping. Next, reorder level. When they have to reorder, when they should go for reorder, and what is the quantity. So demand during lead time is 1200 plus safety stock is 512. So it is a reorder level is 1712 units. By using this simple calculation, the plant can solve many problems. Now I'll start about ABC analysis. The word ABC, always better control, ABC, and this is based on cost criteria. It helps to exercise selective control when confronted with large number of items. That means it rationalizes the number of orders, number of items, and reduce the inventory. And so we can by this technique we can classify the items in the store based on the demand of the stock. So ABC classification. ABC classification, we that means we divide the inventory items in the form of three categories: A category, B category, and C category. You know that inventory always consumes cost. That means we spend money on that. That money is blocked on inventory. So this is a technique to classify. It is a technique to classify the items in store based on the demand of the stock. So if we the main thing is that if we procure more, that means all the items in the inventory are not of same price. All the items are not of same price. Some are very costly inventory, some are cheaper inventory. So the main objective is that we should maintain the costly inventory as minimum as possible, and we should have a regular checkup of that how much is required, because we are spending more money on that. So that is a classification of inventory items. That is the ABC analysis. We first category A. So you can see there is a one table that I am drawing it. That is, first one is the category, percentage of items, and percentage of valuables. So you can see that first is the A category. A category, higher value item, higher value, that is very costly. Costly items comes under category A. Then comes our B category, moderate valued items. Then comes our C, less valued item, that are cheaper inventory products. So it's a rule by that the costly item, that the items or the inventory that belongs to category A should be kept 10% of the total inventory item, because these are very costly and it consumes around 7. Even if we keep 10% of items, but it costs about 70% of the total value blocked in inventory. So that's why it should be limited to 10%. Then comes our B category items. It should be 20% of the total items, and it amounts to 20% of the total amount spent on inventory. So third column is about the value in terms of rupees, and first one is the percentage of items. C category, the cheapest one, it should contain 70% of the item, and it consumes about 10% of the total cost. So in this way we classify the inventory items. So let me tell you about the item A. Item A, these are the most important items of the company, and it accounts for about 10% of the total inventory item that I have already told you. And first one, it should be ordered in small amounts, small quantities, because these are very costly. So these have a very tight inventory control. And it consumes about 70 to 80%, 70% I've told you of the total investment in inventory. So it should be ordered in very small quantities. And it is usually managed by top level management, because executive that they can only take the decision regarding procurement of the item under category A. And it is expected that as soon as it comes to the inventory, its delivery should be very fast, expedite its delivery. And purchase and stock control is done by top level management. I've told you, because these are very costly items, these are managed by the top level managers or executives. Now I'll discuss about the items under category B. These are less important items than item A, but more important than C items of the company. And it accounts for about 20% of the total inventory items I have shown in the column, and it also accounts for about 20% of the total annual consumption value of the company. So it requires moderate control, and it is managed by middle level management or executive, and these have usually intermediate inventory control. Orders are placed less frequently. Next category items is our item C. Item C, that means comes under category C. C category items, marginally important items of the company, and so it accounts for about 45 to 50% of the total inventory items, and it accounts for 10% of the annual consumption value of the company, as I have showed in the table. So it requires only routine check, and orders can be placed annually or 6 monthly. It has low inventory control, and it can be managed by middle and lower level management. So this is the graph of ABC analysis. The thing that I've told you, that I'm drawing here, x-axis is the percentage of item out of 100. out of 100, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40% of items. We know that category A is our 10% of items, and y-axis is percentage of annual value, that is in terms of rupees cost. That means cumulative sum we can say up to 100%, not in rupees. Y-axis it is in percentage of annual value. That means we are from the rupees we have converted of what is the percentage of category A in A, B and C. It is also in percentage. So both X and Y are in percentage. First is the percentage of items, and y-axis is the percentage of annual value. Out of total amount, what is the amount spent on at category A, B and C. And for category A, that I have already told you that it belongs to the 70%, and 70% annual value and 10% of items. And category B 20% means 10 plus 20, our axis will be at 30%. Then A, B, C up to 100, if we calculate, so it will be our C. It will be our C. Now procedure of ABC analysis. You can see that percentage of cost also. A graph touch at 70%, B curve touches y-axis at 90%, and C curve touches at 100%, because we have taken X and Y total 100%. So we have seen that X-axis has 10%, 30% and up to 100%. Y-axis has 70%, 90% and 100%. That you can note down in your copy. Then procedure of ABC analysis. How to classify the items. So I am writing down the steps. Input the number of items, annual consumption value in terms of units, and unit price for each of the items. For each item, compute annual consumption value in terms of rupees by multiplying its annual consumption units with its unit price. Number 3. Arrange the items and their details in descending order of the annual consumption values. Arrange the items and their details in descending order of the annual consumption values computed in step 2. Step 4. Compute cumulative values of the annual consumption values. Fifth step. Group the items into ABC classes by dividing the items into into 70%, 20% and 10% of the annual consumption values from top to bottom. So these are the steps. That means A item means 70% of annual consumption value, B item means 20% of items covering 20% of inventory, C items rest remaining are the C category items. So now I'll work out one problem with you. The main advantage of ABC analysis is that stocking can be controlled, cost is also controlled, we get improved services, and warehousing is also a factor. So because ABC inventory extends to our warehouse management. So now this is the problem I'm working it out. That is, a store of an oil engine repair shop has 10 items whose details are given below. You can see. First column is your component or the part. Second is so number from 1 to 10. Second column is your price or unit in rupees. Then details of store, you get unit per year, that is a quantity is given to you. This much is given to you. You have to, fourth column you have to compute. Question is given, 3 columns are given to you. That's it. Unit price per unit, number of parts, price per unit and units per year. Now you have to compute, starting with the first step, annual consumption value in rupees per year. So what you have to do, you have to multiply unit price with number of quantities. For let's say I'm filling all the data. Now we have for the part number 1 we have unit price is 100 rupees price per unit, and number of units that is required is 100. So total amount that we'll be spending is 100 into 100. So likewise we will do all sort of computation for 10 parts, and we will be computing the total annual consumption value. These are the details per year. So I'll multiply all. We'll go to the first step by step annual, that we have written everything clearly. Then second we have to multiply it for all. Second step is for each item compute annual consumption value in terms of rupees by multiplying it with annual consumption units with its unit price. So that thing we'll do for all the rows, 10 rows. Two hundred into 300, it is 6 4 zeros, that is 60,000. Likewise for all. So that's it. Now I have done the computation for all. Next I have to add another column. Compute. Fourth step is that arrange the items. Third step is that arrange the items and the details in descending order of the annual consumption values. So we can see in this case highest amount goes to the part number 8, that is 3,50,000. So now again in the next row we have to write down again, and least one is the part 1. Part 1 you can see that it is 10,000. After 8th part, then it is the 9th part having the maximum value. Likewise then 5th part, 4th part, 7th part, 6th part. We arrange the annual consumption value in descending order. Now we'll again draw. Then second column is our price per unit in rupees. Then units per year. Then annual consumption in rupees per year. Then another column will be adding cumulative value of annual consumption. Then we will divide first. Then we'll first one, the part 8 is having the maximum amount, it is 3,50,000. We'll just do the input. $500 units, annual consumption value 3,50,000. Then comes our ninth part, it is 5,000. Likewise, we will input all in descending order as per the annual consumption value and do the cumulative sum. The cumulative sum in this one, you can see this one first 8 sum plus 9 sum in total. You can see the direction. So if you do it, you will get like this amount. $3,50,000 plus that means 5,25,000, 35. Then if you add it up, these two I'll show the direction in which you can add. So like after ninth one, it is the fifth part. Add it up with this cumulative sum. This shows the addition that you will be doing. Likewise, we will do the cumulative sum for all. I'm showing the direction and so that you can get it everything. Just simple mathematics. Now we have done the cumulative sum. I'm rectifying it. Some mistakes I have done, that I'm rectifying it. So likewise you fill it up all. So this is the final cumulative sum, 50 lakh. So next we know that we have to compute that it is a 70% of category A consumes 70% of the total cost. You can say group the items into A, B, C classes by dividing the items into 70%, 20% and 10% of the annual consumption value from top to bottom. So our 70, if we have to compute now 70% of 50 lakhs, that we got the final cumulative sum, this one. So it will be the cost expensed on category A kind of inventory. So we have to compute 70% of 50 lakhs. Here also it is written that A category item consumes 70% of the value which belongs to 10% of items. So as we are computing the value, so we will be going for the 70% of its value. So 70% of 50 lakh, it is 35 lakh. So this is the cost spent on category A. Now we will see where the cumulative sum we are getting this 35 lakh. So you can see that it is only for the category A. Exact, it is coming exact, so it should be less than. So now category, that means the part 8 belong to only category A, because 70% of the total cumulative sum is 3500000, and it is not more than that, so that's why it belongs to category A. Next we know that 20%, that means another 20% means we have to take the cumulative sum, that means the 90% of, we are considering the cumulative sum, that's why 70 plus 20, we will go for 90% of 50 lakh. What is the amount? Let's see. So we can see that it is exceeding 4 lakh is exceed. That's why we have taken only first category, that means part A belongs to only category A. If we take the ninth one, it is much exceeding than the 70%. Now we will go for the go to find out which component belongs to category B. So that will be 90% of 5 lakh 50 lakh. So it is equal to 45 lakh, around 45 lakh. So we can see that if we see the cumulative sum, in cumulative sum we can see that that means ninth part and fifth part, we get the cumulative just little bit, 25,000 only exceeding, but it is manageable. Also these two items, that means the ninth part and the fifth part, belong to category B. It is much closer. Whereas if you consider fourth part also, it is 46 lakh something, it is much more. And if you consider only ninth part, it is 5 lakh less. So better is 25,000, excess is better. So that's why we write down it belongs to category B. That means ninth component and the fifth component. Remaining all belongs to category C. That comprises of 10% of the total cost. So this is all about your ABC analysis. In this way you learned how to categorize the components as per your ABC. So first you have compute the cumulative sum, then highest costly part is your A category, and then cheapest one is your belongs to your C category. So in this way we cannot ignore inventory amount that is spent by a firm. So in this way we can have a proper control of inventory items as well as the price spent on it. So usually we think that inventory means all similar category of item, but you can see there are so much of variations. So this topic helps us to know that how inventory also plays an important role in maximizing the profit and controlling the amount or the funds or finance of any institution. So this is how about your ABC analysis. And there are few disadvantages also in ABC analysis, that sometime a category B part which comes under category B, sometimes it may belong to category A, like diesel in case of power scarcity, like diesel that we have categorized in B part